A very warm welcome in the class of matrix. Our topic for today's class is solution of system of linear equations part 2. Myself Rupak Bhattacharjee, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, JIS College of Engineering. So in this class we have some recapitulations of the previous class because it is completely linked with the previous class. So the prerequisites for today's class is the previous class. So please make a confidence on the previous class, the topics discussed in the previous class, and then attend this. Then it will be easier for you to understand. Next one is, in the previous class it is also discussed. Still I am going to give you a little idea on augmented matrix on this, as well as we are going to give you a little idea on rank of matrix. It is just brush up because these are required in this particular discussion. Now I think you can recall that in the last class we have started that what is a linear equation, and in that context we have mentioned that if the variables are having degree 1 and then we are having the coefficients as a1 a2 are all constants and this b is also a constant, so it is going to be a linear equation. And the next part was what was the system of linear equation, and the answer of system of linear equation is this, because we know that if we are taking more than one equations of all are in linear form, then we have, it is the term the system of linear equations. Our target was to find out the solution of system of linear equations and the characterization of that. So the system of equations is said to be consistent if it is having at least one solution, and always we have in the mathematics that if it is not consistent, then we are calling it inconsistent. In another sense, the system is not going to have any solution, then it will be calling as inconsistent system. So moving further, what we get that for a non-homogeneous system with m linear equations and n unknowns, the following conditions hold: that the relationship or the pattern identification of the solution of the system of linear equations with rank of the matrix and the rank of the augmented matrix. So I think you can recall that what is augmented matrix, the matrix A and with the column vector B is our augmented matrix, where the system is represented is AX is equal to B form. Now if their rank are same, then it is consistent, and if their rank are same with the number of unknowns, then it is going to have unique solution, and if it is less than number of unknowns, then it will be having infinitely many solutions, and if the ranks are not equal, then obviously it is going to be an inconsistent system. So I think you are able to recall that an elaborate discussion was made on inconsistent system in the last class, as well as on the consistent system for unique solution in the last class, with the pictorial representation starting from pictorial representation to all others. The thing is that in this class we are going to mainly emphasize on this part where infinitely many solutions will be coming from a system, and in the second part we are going to discuss why column operations are not allowed, and in the third part of this class we are going to discuss a problem, which problem is going to make all these three ideas clear in a single one, in a single package. Okay, so when we are solving the system by row eliminations, this is the previous problem what we have taken, and we see that this was the system we have converted into its echelon form, all these, and we got that it is having unique solution, and also we have converted into triangular form with substitution methods, and you get the solution of this system in the previous class is 29, 16 and 3. Now we are trying to find out what if the case is rank of A is equal to rank of C, but which is less than number of unknowns. I know that from the discussion or the characterization of the system from consistency, it is consistent but infinitely many. But we need one example to make it crystal clear in our mind. So let us start doing the example. We are taking one system that is x1 minus 2x2 plus x3 is equal to 0, then 2x2 minus 8x3 is equal to 8, and x1 plus 0x2 minus 7x3 is equal to 8. You can check it that x1 minus 2x2 plus x3 equal to 0, 0 into x1 plus 2x2 minus 8x3 is equal to 8. These two already are same in my next equation. I have changed the third equation only. So if I want to convert it into its ax equal to b form, then what we are getting, 1 minus 2 1, 0 2 minus 8 1 0 minus 7, this is our a. Then our x is x1 x2 x3, and our b is 0 8 8. So from this we get the augmented matrix C, which is nothing but 1 minus 2 1 0 2 minus 8 1 0 minus 7. Someone gives this dotted line, someone gives slash. You can give as you want, but the things has to be clear to you. 0 8 and 8. So this is our augmented matrix. So this augmented matrix is now going to be converted into its echelon form, because we want to find out the rank of C as well as the rank of the coefficient matrix, rank of A. So if we have started using elementary row operations, it is 0 already there, so our target is to make it 0. So I will make first R3 goes to R3 minus R1. So I will make R3 goes to R3 minus R1. So if R3 goes to R3 minus R1, then R1 is not going to be changed. So 1 minus 2 1, 1 minus 2 1, and 0 will be there. I have not operated anything on R2, so it will be 0 2, then minus 8, and 8 will be there. In the context of R3, 1 minus 1 it is 0, then 0 minus minus 2 it is 2, and minus 7 minus 1 it is minus 8, and 8 minus 0 it is 8. So we get the third row is changed by this. It is not yet in echelon form because number of zeros are increasing here but not here. I have to make this part 0, obviously with the help of R2. So it is very much obvious that R3 first element, this element will be 0 if I make R3 goes to R3 minus R2, and by applying this 1 minus 2 1 0 0 2 minus 8, and 8 will remain same. 0 minus 0 is 0, 2 minus 2 is 0, minus 8 minus of minus 8 will become 0, and 8 minus 8 will become 0. Look at this, it was not our requirement. Our requirement is to make this part 0. But to make it 0, what the elementary row operation we have used, it makes this third row completely 0. So it is in echelon form where the 0 row is coming after all non-zero rows, and the number of non-zero rows in this echelon form is 2. So we get the rank of C is equal to 2. And if we observe this, the matrix A, then we get the rank of matrix A, that means the coefficient matrix is also 2 and they are equal. So it gives us the information that it is going to be a consistent system. But what type of consistency it is showing? Look at this. Here the number of unknowns. Here the number of unknowns in this system is 3. But the ranks of C and A we get 2. So I can claim that rank of C is equal to rank of A is less than number of unknowns. So for these two parts it is giving us consistency, but for this whole 3 it is giving us it is consistent, but it is going to give us infinitely many solutions. So first part of this problem is clear the characterization of the solution of this system. Before finding out the solution of the system, we are able to characterize that the system is going to have infinitely many solutions, and because of this rank of C is equal to rank of A is less than number of unknowns. But it is the first part what we have performed, that the ranks are same but the number of unknowns is greater than that. That is why it is having infinite number of solutions. But what are the solutions? It is also important. In case of consistent uniqueness, we have given the solution. In case of inconsistent, there is no solution, so there is no question of finding out the solutions. But when you are claiming that it is going to have infinitely many solutions, then obviously you have to show that what are the solutions. So as per the last class's discussion, Ax is equal to B, Ax is equal to B is now, after converting it into its echelon form, is now it is A echelon form, AE, X is equal to BE, and we will get this AE and BE from this part. So this will give us that x1 minus 2x2 plus x3 is equal to 8, and 2x2 minus 8x3, it is 0 for the first one, and it is minus 2x2 minus 8x3 is equal to 8. So as we are not getting x1 or x2 or x3 separately from this system, we are not going to claim that this is the thing and we are going to substitute it in the reverse order. So what is the case? Look at this. X1 minus 2x2 plus x3 is equal to 0. In the next line we can write x2 minus 4x3 is equal to 4. The most important part of this process is now going to be shared. In this section, x2 minus 4x3 is equal to 4. From this part, you have to take x2 is equal to k, or you have to take x3 is equal to some other thing, any one of these two. Initially I am taking x2 equal to k, and if I put x2 equal to k here, then what we get, x3 is equal to 4 minus k by minus 4. 4 minus k by minus 4. Now putting this x2 and x3 in the first equation, we will get x1 also in terms of k. Then our job is to write down the solution x1, x2, x3 in terms of k, and we will claim that this is going to be the solution, and infinitely many solutions will be treated as, because of for any value of k you will get for different answers, but all those will satisfy this system, that means the mother system. Similarly, someone can say I will take another value. I am not going to take the value of x2. Instead of that, I am trying to take the value of x3. So let us take, I am taking x3 is equal to k. So putting x3 equal to k here, what we are getting, x2 is equal to 4 plus 4k. Clear? So if someone takes x3 is equal to k, so x2 will be 4 plus 4k from this, and if I substitute it in the x1, what we get, x1 is equal to 2x2, that means 8 plus 8k minus x3, that means minus k, so what we get, 8 plus 7k. So the solution pattern is 8 plus 7k, comma, x2 is 4 plus 4k, comma, and x3 is k. So for any values of k, these are the solutions. So let us take the value of k equal to 0. So let us take that k is equal to 0. So this k is equal to 0 will give you the solution set as 8, 4, 0. Substitute it, rather verify it whether it is going to be the solution of this given system or not. So if you put 8, 4 and 0, so it is 8 minus 2 into 4, 8. So 8 minus 8 plus 0, and it is 0. 8, 4, 0, if you substitute here, so 8, 4, 4 into 2, that is 8, minus 0, it is 8. So it is 8. Similarly, for the last case, 8 minus 7 into 0, that is 8. So 840 is successfully substituting the values of x1, x2, x3 to get the vector b in the given system. Now another one can say, I will not take k equal to 0, I will take k equal to 1. So there is no problem. If you put k equal to 1 here, then you will get 15, then 8 and 1. You please check this, substituting over here, you will get the things will be satisfied. Not only that, you can take the fractional value as k equal to 1 by 3. You can take the negative value as k equal to minus 2 and so on. For all values of k, you will get that this will be satisfied. The last information or observation for this particular discussion is that the solution set depends on k, where k is independent. So this particular thing, that means number of unknowns minus rank of A or rank of C, whatever you can say, because they are same, is going to give you the number of independent things in the solution. So here it is 3 and it is 2, so you are going to get 1. Look at this, the solution depends on one independent parameter. But if in other cases, if you get something where you are getting, after finding out that the rank of A, for a suppose 3 cross 3 system, rank of C is equal to 1, then the number of unknowns is 3, number of unknowns is equal to 3, then the independent thing in the system will be 3 minus 1, 2. So you can solve a problem by taking it, and we are going to give you some assignments. You will see that the answers then in that case will be depending on, suppose k1 and k2. You have to assume for two variables. Clear? Okay. So now let us proceed for the next case, that is the problem where we are going to find out one very important technical aspect, that our target is to investigate the value of lambda and mu, for which the system of equations, this one, is going to have unique solution, infinite number of solutions, and no solution at all. That means our target is to find out the value of lambda and mu for this. The same system, for various values of lambda and mu, will exhibit different characters. So these are simply having the requirement of concept as well as the technical expertise. So let us see how the problem is going to be tackled. We have identified A and we have identified x as well as the vector b. A contains lambda and b contains mu. So what will be our augmented matrix? The matrix will be of this form, and our target is to find out the rank of this augmented matrix. That means we are going to apply elementary row operations. So it is 1, it is 1. Our target is to make this 2 first 0. That is why in the first case we are applying R2 minus R1 and R3 minus R1 to get this matrix. But we are seeing that it is not again in the echelon form, it is increased but it is same. Our target is to make this one equal to 0. So for to make this one equal to 0, what we do, R3 minus R2 and R1 minus R2 is done. R1 minus R2 is done just because of simplification. It is not at all mandatory. So look at this in the next step, what we are getting, that we are having the echelon form, because look at this, the number of zeros are increased, it is 1, and the number of zeros are increased, it is 2. So it is our echelon form. So now we can find out the rank of the coefficient matrix and the rank of the augmented matrix. It is termed as C. So please try to concentrate. If the rank of A is equal to rank of C is equal to 3, it is going to give you unique solution. If the rank of A is equal to rank of C is less than 3, it is going to give you infinite solutions. And if rank of A is not equal to rank of C, it will give you no solution. So depending on the values of lambda and mu, we have to check when these three cases will happen. So look at this. This is the row reduced echelon form of A, and this will have rank 3 when lambda is not equal to 3, yes or no? Because if lambda is equal to 3, this will be a 0 row, and this will give you the rank of this matrix is 2. And if lambda is not equal to 3, this will be a non-zero row, so the number of non-zero rows will be 3. So it will be having rank 3. And if the lambda is equal to not equal to 3 over here, so this particular thing will be a non-zero row, so the rank of this A will be non-zero, the rank of this A will be equal to 3. And if this is non-zero, we are not bothered about the value of mu, because if mu is 10 or if mu is not equal to 10, that means if this part is 0 or not equal to 0, we are not at all bothered, because our target is to check what is the first non-zero element and the number of zeros preceding this. So if this is the first non-zero element in the third row, the rank of this augmented matrix will also become 3. So what is the conclusion? If lambda is not equal to 3, then rank of A is rank of A colon B. Both of the rank will be 3, which is the number of variables. So whatever the value of mu be, thus if lambda is not equal to 3 and mu may have any value, the given system of equations will have unique solutions. So this is the only requirement of getting unique solution. It is not depending on the value of mu. But if we want to find out infinitely many solutions, then our target is to keep rank of A is equal to rank of C, but it has to be less than 3. That means it has to be at least 2. So if it has to be 2, then these 3 things has to be 0 as well as this 4th thing has to be 0. So if lambda equal to 3, it will be 0, as well as if mu is equal to 10, it will be 0. So the whole row will be a 0 row. So the rank of A and rank of C will be same, but the rank will be 2, which is less than number of unknowns, and it will give you infinitely many solutions. So let us check. If lambda is equal to 3 and mu is equal to 10, what I have stated is nothing but the same thing, the number of variables. Thus if lambda equal to 3 and lambda equal to 10, the given system of equations will have infinite number of solutions. And the final thing which is remaining, that is when it is going to have no solution, that means the rank of A has to be not equal to rank of C. When it is possible? Is it possible that lambda is not equal to 3 but mu is equal to 10? It is not at all matters, because if lambda is not equal to 3, it is not 0, and everything is going to be have same rank 3. But think about the reverse fact. If lambda equal to 3 but mu is not equal to 10, what is happening? If lambda is equal to 3, it is 0, so the rank of the coefficient matrix will become 2. But as mu is not equal to 10, then the last row of this augmented matrix is not a 0 row. So number of non-zero rows in the augmented matrix will become 3. So the rank of the augmented matrix will become 3, which is not same as the rank of the coefficient matrix, and automatically it will give you the conclusion that the matrix ranks are different, that they are not consistent. So what we are getting, that if lambda equal to 3 and mu is not equal to 10, then we are getting the ranks are different. So obviously the given system of equations will have no solution. So this is a very important problem, not only from the practicing point of view but also from the idea that how we are matching it with the rank of the coefficient matrix and the augmented matrix with this. So let us have a little discussion on the assignments. The assignments are given over here, that if we are going to consider the following system this, then our target is to find out the solution of this particular matrix if possible. And look at this, here the thing is little bit having 3 unknowns but 4 equations. You have to concentrate on this important property also, and then you have to proceed for solving this. And the second problem as an assignment is very important. The problem what we have discussed just before the last discussion, that our target is to find out the values of A and B such that this system is going to have unique solutions. Sometimes it is infinite number of solutions and no solutions. So this is the assignments you have to solve. But before concluding the thing, I just want to say one thing. Look at this, x1 plus x2 is equal to 2 and x1 minus x2 is equal to 0. If we have to solve it, we know that the solution is 1 1. If we want to draw it, x1 plus x2 equal to 2, so the points are 2 0 and 0 2. So this is x1 plus x2 equal to 2 and this is x1 minus x2 equal to 0. So this is the point 1 1 we get. Look at this, in matrix form it is 1 1 1 minus 1, then 2 0. So if we are converting it into its echelon form, it is 1 1 2, and we are subtracting r2 minus r1, so it will be 0 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1, that is minus 2, and 0 minus 2 it is 2. So this is the echelon form, and from this we conclude the rank of the coefficient matrix is 2, the rank of the augmented matrix is 2, and the solution of this system in the reverse order, that is 0 minus 2 it is minus 2. So think what we are getting, x2 is equal to 1 and x1 is equal to 1. How we get this? By elementary row operations. Now take the same system, 1 1 1 minus 1 and 2 0. If we have the elementary row operation, that is r1 2, what we get, 1 minus 1 then 0 and 1 1, that is 2. And if we want to make it converted into the system again, what we are getting, x1 minus x2 is equal to 0 and x1 plus x2 is equal to 2. That is the identical system of this, because we know that when we are writing equation number 1 and equation number 2, if we reverse them or swap them, the solution remains same. But if I have the column operations like this form, this 1 1 is taken here, this 1 minus 1 is taken here, and if we take 2 0, look at this. In this context, what we are getting, x1 plus x2 is 2 and minus x1 plus x2 is 0. So you are claiming that we are multiplying it by minus 1 and we will get this, the answer will be same. But think about it. If the system is changed by x1 plus x2 is equal to 2 and x1 minus x2 is equal to suppose minus 1, then what will be the case? If you reverse this in this order, then the system will remain same. But you reverse it in the column position, that is 1, 1, 1 minus 1, 2 minus 1 was there, and you are changing the column position, so you are writing 1 minus 1, 1, 1, 2 minus 1 over here. This will give you the system x1 plus x2 is equal to 2 minus x1 plus x2 is equal to minus 1. Here the system was x1 minus x2 is equal to minus 1, and by column operation you are getting minus x1 plus x2 is equal to minus 1. Are they identical? If you multiply it by minus sign, then it will be minus x1 plus x2 is equal to 1, but you are getting minus 1. So by column operation, elementary column operation, your system is changed, but your elementary row operation, always your system will remain same or equivalent. So in the context of solving the solution of system of linear equation, only elementary row operation is allowed, elementary column operation is not, because elementary column operation is actually changed the system and is actually changed the common point, if so, if any, the intersecting point shifted from one position to another position, where elementary row operation is not, because it was clear in the first class that you can have this, you can have this, or you can have this, but these positions are same by elementary row operations. So this is a very beautiful topic for the understanding of solution of system of linear equations. So these two classes completes this thing. So I am having used these references for this topic, and I am thanking you all for listening this class. I think the thing is clear. Feel free to communicate if any requirement is there. So happy listening, happy learning.